All right, all right.
Okay. Hi, you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So let me start by saying this. Outside of Crawford versus Canelo, Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney is one of the biggest and most significant fights of the year. It is truly a 50-50 fight, and when it comes to everything that Brian Norman Sr. has been saying, mainly Sr., but Sr. and Jr., nothing that they have said about Devin Haney has surprised me. I mean, they've been talking about how easy this fight is, how they're going to knock him out. Brian Sr., he even went so far as to saying that this is not even Brian Jr.'s toughest fight.
And then what do you think about the skill set of Devin Haney? What do you think about him as a fighter? Is he the toughest test for your son?
I don't think he's the toughest test for my son, no. I don't think he's the toughest test for my son. I think he came at the perfect time.
Senior, he also said in other interviews that he didn't believe that Devin Haney was as good as Brian Norman Jr.'s previous opponents. That's a lot of confidence right there. So once again, leading up to this fight, there's nothing that Brian Norman Sr. or Jr. said that really surprised me until now. I just got this clip sent to me where Sr., he said something that really caught a lot of people's attention. He said his son is going to win this fight and knock out Devin Haney as long as they get a fair shake in Saudi Arabia.
He never got out of shape. We just had to stay locked in, stay prayed up to keep God healthy, so God can keep him healthy, keep him in pristine condition, and we do our work for what we can do. And that's, I mean, it's just been an amazing experience. So far, God got us through this far. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we can go to Saudi Arabia and get a fair shake as far as the people leaving us the hell alone and not touching us and staying out the way. As long as we get all of that done and get in the ring with Devin Haney fan square, Devin Haney going to sleep. There's nothing in my mind that tells me anything different.
Now, first of all, that sounds a lot like Floyd Schofield's father, what he said when they pulled out of the Shakur Stevenson fight, the week of the fight. Originally, they blamed it on Haney and Saudi Arabia. Now, and I'm not saying I believe that Brian Norman is going to pull out of the fight, but what I am saying is it's very rare to hear a team say, we're going to win this fight as long as we get a fair shake. Which is pretty much like saying, yeah, we're going to win this fight as long as everything goes according to plan. Senior said, as long as no one messes with his son in Saudi Arabia. But the irony is, Senior, he never said this when they traveled to Japan and they fought the Japanese fighter. They never said, we're going to win this fight as long as no one in Japan messes with my son. And you have to remember, he said that Devin Haney is not even his son's toughest fight. He believes that the Japanese opponent was tougher than what Devin Haney is going to be. So if they got a fair shake in their last opponent's backyard, why would they imply that they might not get a fair shake in Saudi Arabia against Devin Haney? And it can't be because Turki Al-Sheikh already has future plans for Devin Haney, because after all, Turki, he had future plans for Ryan Garcia when Ryan fought against Rolly, and Ryan still lost against Rolly, and it wasn't even close. And we all know that Turki, he was rooting for Crawford when it came to the Crawford-Canelo fight, and yet two of the judges, they still had that fight 7 rounds to 5, which means if Crawford didn't win the last round, they would have had that fight scored a majority draw. Or even worse, if they would have gave Canelo the last 2 rounds, they would have gave the fight to Canelo. Now, neither one of those fights was in Saudi Arabia, but my point is, it was a Turki Al-Sheikh card. I mean, for Brian Norman Sr. to say something like this, as long as we get a fair shake in Saudi Arabia, that means he believes what Floyd Schofield said, his excuse for pulling out of the Shakur Stevenson fight, meaning they were poisoned by Haney's team and Saudi Arabia, which absolutely makes no sense because Riyadh Season, they're the ones that lost all that money when Floyd Schofield pulled out of that fight. So for Brian Norman Sr. to say something like that, we're going to win this fight as long as we get a fair shake, I think it just implies they have a lot more respect for Devin Haney than fans think. I mean, this is still a 50-50 fight, and surprisingly, it seems like the majority of boxers are actually picking Devin Haney to win this fight. And I say it's surprising, especially considering Devin Haney's last performance. If Devin Haney looks like that in this fight, I feel like he has no chance of winning this fight, because that fight against Ramirez, that was not Devin Haney. But considering the fact that Devin Haney was punched in the head repeatedly by a guy that was on steroids and didn't even try to make weight, that's kind of how you would expect a fighter to look in his very next fight. Devin Haney, he looked like one of those guys that had just came off of a knockout loss. The question is the PTSD permanent for Devin Haney? Will we ever see the very confident Devin Haney that we seen before the Ryan Garcia fight? Or are we now going to see the Roy Jones Jr. after he got knocked out by Antonio Tarver? The Roy that was never the same. It's interesting because I always remind you guys that Bernard Hopkins, he said this about Devin Haney right after Devin Haney had lost to Ryan Garcia when it was considered a loss. It's not a loss anymore. Now it's obviously a no contest because we found out that Ryan Garcia was cheating. But Bernard Hopkins, he said that Devin Haney will never be the same fighter. He said that fight was like 6 fights in one. Now, when you add the fact that once again, Ryan Garcia, he didn't even try to make weight. He came in 3 pounds overweight and he tested positive for PEDs. Devin Haney has been through a lot, guys. So we're going to find out this month if we will ever see the special Devin Haney that once again we seen before the whole Ryan Garcia steroid scandal. And that's going to really determine how this fight is going to play out. Brian Norman, he's already a special fighter. So we know what type of Brian Norman that we're going to get. We're going to get the best version of Brian. We don't know for sure if we're going to see the best version of Devin Haney until that first bell rings. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
You can just look at somebody and tell them, like, yo, you're not that guy, buddy. You're not that guy. You can look at me and tell I'm that guy. I was born like this. I was blessed with this.
I'm always hungry. Just because I'm world champion, don't stop. The main goal and objective, and that's to keep going. I'm gonna forever keep going, forever keep winning.
Just naturally, man. I know how to do this. I born for this. I born for be different. And then you only this area. No, a lot of these fighters just do rapping. I just came off a loss, and I'm down to fight the best. I'm going up to 135 to fight somebody that they think I can't beat, and I'm going to dominate him, and then I come back down to 30 and beat his ass too.
My hunger is always gonna be there. I never get satisfied. I'm not satisfied. My job still isn't done. That's why. My job ain't done yet.
Anyone who's ever had it understands shoulder pain is no joke. It can keep you up at night. Once it's in pain, it stays in pain all the time. You find yourself popping all kinds of painkillers. Then you find yourself trying to figure out what the problem is. You go see doctors, you go see surgeons, you go see physical therapists, massage therapists. The shoulder in particular has 4 different joints. Any one of those 4 joints can be problematic because you have these different ligaments that wrap around and hold those joints together. And then you have tendons from any one of 20 different muscles that attach to the shoulder blade that can go awry. Muscle and Bone NYC has been around serving many people, getting them out of shoulder pain and all kinds of joint pain since 2012. Contact us at mbnyc.fitness or call us at 917-238-3650. Let's get you out of that pain.
All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, the fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Deki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodeki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.